Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, and today we are reacting to the creepiest sexual guys you can possibly find on the planet, R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein. Now, before we get to them, because there's breaking news about both of them, but before we get to them, this episode, like all our episodes, is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com. Let's say you're Harvey Weinstein and you really don't want to go out of your apartment because you want to get a non-disclosure agreement signed as quickly as possible. Well, you go to eSign.com, you download their app, you get 3 free signatures a month, although I think he's going to need more than 3 free signatures because he's been doing a lot of deeds over the years. It's just an effective way to do business remotely. I use eSign.com all the time when I have somebody who signed a retainer agreement that can't make it into the office. Family members in jail, they're out of state, and I need to get to court ASAP, but I'm not going to go there without a retainer agreement. It'd be stupid, right? So I just have them e-sign a retainer agreement, and then I'm covered. So we are talking today about R. Kelly, and who do we want to talk about first? Well, let's just talk about R. Kelly. R. Kelly has had, I think, 28 Grammy nominations. As recently as 2015. He had the world by the fucking ass. I mean, he just had the world by the ass. He's already serving a 30-year sentence for the crap he did in his house. And it was just horrible. I mean, here's the thing. Sex shouldn't be horrible. Sex should be fucking fun. Sex should be enjoyable for both parties. Sex shouldn't be abusive. Sex should be spiritual. Sex should be mind-blowing amazing. Not like this. And here's my experience. When I see guys go down the path of depravity, they can't get enough. They always have got to do something more and more and more. And, you know, you can see when people try to control others, and that's what R. Kelly did. But not only is he serving 30 years for sex trafficking and whatever else he did, but he's serving another 20 years for federal child porn. What? Child porn? If you're under 18 and you're taking pictures of your wee-wee, you can't do that. That's child porn. And he got convicted of manufacturing child porn. Now, the judge in this case actually gave him a break because he's already effectively serving a life sentence. R. Kelly is 56 years old. 56 years old. That's how old I am. You get a 30-year sentence when you're 56. Guess what? That's essentially a life sentence. So the judge gave him all but 1 year concurrent. Now, what's the difference between concurrent and consecutive sentencing? Concurrent sentences when I serve both sentences at the same time. I'm getting credit 2 for 1, basically. And consecutive means one after the other. So, like on a gun case that's connected to drugs, you get the drug sentence, you get the gun sentence, and you serve the gun sentence afterwards. So in this case, the judge gave him 20 years, but he said 1 of those years, 19 of those years is concurrent, and 1 of those years is consecutive. So it means he's got 31 years to do. You get good time and all that kind of stuff, but he's going to be an old man by the time he gets out. Let's just listen to some of the words of, and you know, when you are in court and you have a case like this, as a lawyer, you have to sit there and you listen to the victims in the case, and they are victims. I have lost my dignity to Robert Kelly. I've lost my dreams to Robert Kelly. I've lost my teenage years to Robert Kelly. I will forever be the girl that R. Kelly peed on. I mean, that whole peeing on, I know it's not that unpopular. I mean, some people do it, and I just don't fucking get it. Don't pee on me, please. But it just, you know, it's so sad because you take somebody's childhood, you know, and one of the things that is similar in both the Weinstein case and in the R. Kelly case is when you have they're men of power, right? You have R. Kelly, who is by all measures a very successful singer and artist. People look to that. People look to your position and want to be around that. And he abused that power. And he abused that power so hard that he I mean, I think he even had people locked in rooms and then had shit in a bucket and, weren't allowed to leave, and just some really vile stuff. Also, he could control them. And who wants to do that? I mean, he could have filled a house full of hangers-on if he wanted to, but he was so successful, and he just went down the tubes. Harvey Weinstein did the same thing. Now, Harvey Weinstein was sentenced in Los Angeles to 16 years in prison for sexual assault charges. He's already serving a 23-year sentence in New York. Now, guess what? He's going to die in prison. There's no question in my mind that he's going to die in prison. Remember I was talking about consecutive versus concurrent sentences earlier? Well, you've got two different sovereigns. You got New York and L.A. And when you have two different, they don't have to honor the credit that you have from the other jurisdiction. In fact, most of the time they don't. So, and he says, I maintain that I'm innocent. I've never raped or sexually assaulted Jane Doe 1. I never knew this woman, and the fact is, she doesn't know me. This is about money. Please don't sentence me to life in prison, he added. I don't deserve it. Jane Doe 1 was a model actress whose testimony formed the crux of the convictions, so that the judge, and also told the judge how the assault had changed her. This is what she said. Before that night, I was a very happy and confident woman. I valued myself and the relationship I had with God. I was excited about my future, she said. Everything changed after the defendant brutally assaulted me. I thought I did something wrong because he chose me that night. I thought I did something wrong for him to do that to me. I soon became invisible to myself and to the world. I lost my identity. I was heartbroken, empty, and alone. It absolutely breaks your heart. It just breaks your heart. But this was a systematic thing that Harvey Weinstein did. I mean, what he did was, he would use the lure of film, because he was a very influential filmmaker, to lure these young ladies in and then abuse them. So now Weinstein is 70 years old. He's infirm. I don't know that he's going to last another 5 years in prison. So these are empirical victories, right? But he was also acquitted of one charge, and the jury could not come to a unanimous decision on 3 other charges, including one related to Jennifer Newsom, a filmmaker and the wife of California Governor Gavin Newsom. So 4 counts connected to an unnamed woman who did not testify were dropped during the trial. So kind of a big chunk of the case was either acquitted or dropped. So in the LA trial, 8 women testified about various sexual assaults that he committed on them. But when you have that high profile, I think this was something that was normal back in the day, but with the Me Too movement and with people standing up for themselves, it's no longer normal. You don't have the casting couch like they used to, or you shouldn't anyway. Maybe it still goes on, I'm not sure, but Harvey Weinstein is paying a heavy, heavy, heavy price. Once he had Rolls Royce, and I've never understood sexual assault. The other thing is, the jury also was given the task of deciding whether there are aggravating factors. And aggravating factors are things that are like particular cruelty, zone of privacy, multiple acts. Those are factors that can be used to enhance a sentence or aggravate a sentence, make the sentence longer. But they hung. The jury hung on those aggravating factors. So, a lawyer representing the victim said their testimony gave them the power to reclaim their voices, both for themselves and on behalf of many other women who were abused by Harvey Weinstein. And this is Elizabeth Fagan. She said this. It can't erase the trauma that they've endured, but it can serve as a catalyst for change and provide hope to other survivors. It's just heart-wrenching to hear this just horrid stories of woman after woman after woman coming out and accusing these guys of things that they did to them, and you hear how it's impacted them for the rest of their lives. Just something to think about, guys. Think about women and how to respect them, because that's where you should be on this issue. So I'm Bruce Rivers. This has been another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts, reacting to breaking news. And we have one last little bit of information. If you see anybody with the CLR Bruce Rivers tagline asking you for money, it is a fucking scam. 100%. I had one of our fans DM me on Instagram, and she said, "This isn't you, is it?" And he was asking somebody for like $20,000. I would never do that in a million years. So just know that I think it was on Telegram. So if you see anybody on Telegram or any other social media asking you to invest or do any kind of bullshit, giving them money, it ain't me, and you should report them right away. So thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, police is at my god.